All right, good evening. Welcome to the Bellingham Select Board meeting for July 20th, 2026 at 7 p.m. We are broadcasted live on AVMI, and for legal purposes, this meeting is being recorded. I ask if you can, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. Republic that stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, if you notice in the meeting tonight, for acting as town administrator, we have Chris Carrera, our chief financial officer, L'Oreal, our administrative assistant. Kim O'Neill is present, Jennifer Monte is present, Cody Spencer is present, myself, Mike Hennessy is present, and we have Vice Chair Don Martinez, who is zooming in, so all votes will have to be a roll call for tonight for the select board. We are going to start the meeting with the sorry, I need the public hearing. In accordance with Bellingham Code of Bylaws, the Bellingham Select Board will hold a public hearing on Monday, July 20th, 2026 at 7 p.m. in the Arcan Meeting Room at the Municipal Center, 10 Mechanic Street, on the application of Wicked Bites, Inc., located at 90 Wicked Bite. Oh, Wicked Bite, Inc., located at 93 Mechanic Street for a common vehicular license.
Come on up.
How are you?
Good.
So tell us a little bit about what you're looking to do.
Oh, we're looking to open up a fresh bakery with morning breakfast sandwiches, baked goods, cookies, muffins, that sort of thing.
Have you done this before? Have you?
I owned a restaurant before, yes.
Okay. Yep. Locally?
I was in Shrewsbury back in 20.
Okay. Does anybody on the board have any questions?
No, I don't really have any questions. Happy to see something going in where Pam's used to be, so.
So are you looking to do breakfast and lunch?
Yeah, basic breakfast sandwiches, maybe lunch sandwiches as things progress.
So the only thing I can probably recommend is if you put 2 o'clock on the application, it's 2 o'clock. If you were thinking maybe staying open a little bit
Yeah,
later.
we're thinking 5 to 8 for the hours, just so there's that buffer zone.
Okay, all right, because on the, it says 6 to 2 on the application, so.
Sorry.
No, I don't want to get you in a bind.
No. I want 5 to 8 if possible on that.
No, I'm sure Hillary can take care of that.
Definitely.
Miss, something okay, anything?
I think I need questions.
Mrs. O'Neill?
I do not.
Ms. Martinez, you have anything?
No, I just wanted to say good luck and can't wait till it opens.
Awesome, thank you.
You have any feedback from the public? This is a public hearing. Anything for the public?
Good luck.
Awesome.
Do I have a motion to close the public hearing?
So,
Second check.
All right, roll call, Mr. Spencer,
Cody, aye.
Mr. Almonte.
And I. Am I?
Mr. Martinez?
Aye, sorry, it was on mute.
All good, and aye. I vote public hearing is closed. Do I have a motion to approve the license application with the amended time of operation from 5 a.m. to 8 p.m.?
I'll make a motion.
Second,
All right, roll call, Mr. Spencer,
Cody, aye.
Ms. Almonte,
Jen, I.
Mrs. O'Neill,
Am I?
Don,
Don, aye.
5-0.
Beautiful.
Awesome. Good job. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, what was your anticipated opening date?
Well, we still have to do a lot more inspections, so we're hoping by the end of August.
Okay.
That's our goal for now.
Just in time for school.
That's right.
Best of luck to you.
All right, thank you, guys.
I'll be here soon. Okay.
you.
Thank you for coming
All right. Regal Cinemas, Inc., Hartford Ave, application for change of alcohol manager.
in. So this is the proposed license manager in front of you.
Hello.
Hi.
And so the board knows that this is a process that the ABCC requires of us. They're doing a change of alcohol manager, and it's been the board's process to have the new manager come in and just introduce himself and see if you guys have any questions for him.
Tell us a little bit about your experience and anything else you feel.
My name is Greg Kendall. Been with the company for 35 years. My last two locations were alcohol related locations. I worked in the state for about a year.
All right. Getting a lot of good feedback of the new seats and the upgrades you guys did.
Yeah, it's coming along nice. Definitely.
Anybody have anything?
I don't have any questions.
Do you have an effective date on here?
What's the matter?
Is there an effective date? Is it immediate?
Once it gets approved by the ABCC, you guys approve it, we send it into them, they do an investigation, and then they'll send me, a notice when it's been approved.
With no questions.
Mr.
I do not.
Martinez, do you have anything to say?
No, all good. This is pretty standard. So
Do I have a motion to approve the change in alcohol management?
So Jen?
Second,
All right, roll call, Mrs. Spencer.
Cody, aye.
Jen, I.
Mrs. O'Neill.
Kim, I.
On?
Don, I,
Congratulations, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
So I'll
folks.
send the paperwork into the ABCC.
Thank you.
Awesome, thank you.
Good night.
You too. All right, up next,
So Rachel and the,
no, Peregrine Energy Group.
the energy group?
Yeah,
Come on up, sir.
Mr. Gromer.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you.
How you doing, sir? Come on up.
Very good. Thank you very much. So my name is Paul Gromer. I'm with Peregrine Energy Group. We're the consultants for the town's electricity aggregation program. I'm here today to give you a little bit of an update on the program, just to tee it up, but also the electricity contract for the program is coming to the end, and it's time to go out to bid for a new contract. So I wanted to talk to you about the process for that and set that up with you. So I have couple slides here. Just as background, this is the Bellingham Power Choice Program, which is called the Municipal Electricity Aggregation Program, which is really group buying for electricity organized by cities and towns. Very popular in Massachusetts. More than 200 cities and towns have programs like this. Your program was authorized by town meeting back in 2016. It launched in 2017, has operated since then. Serves about 60% of the electricity accounts in town, and has saved customers over the life of the program $5.6 million compared to the Eversource and National Grid basic service price. And the next slide is just illustrates that saving. So we see the program price there in red, and then the two utility prices, Eversource and National Grid, are in blue. And you can see that the program price, you tend to have a stable price. You lock it in for a couple of years at a time, and it's been lower than the utility basic service price the great majority of the time, which is very good performance. The goal for programs like this is to offer a stable price. The expectation is it's going to be lower than the utility sometimes, higher than the utility other times, but lower on average compared to their price, which changes every 6 months. You've been lower the great majority of the time, and you've saved, as I said, $5.6 million compared to what customers would have paid on the basic service price. The reason I'm here today is to talk about the contract. So there are two contracts for a program like this. One is a consulting contract with a firm like mine, which is a small contract. And then there's a much bigger contract with an electricity supplier to provide the electricity for the program. Over the course of the program, Bellingham has had 7 contracts like this with electricity suppliers. Your current contract runs through December. And you need to get a new contract in place by about mid-September in order to keep the program going and allow for a smooth transition. The way the bids for these programs work, we'll take competitive bids from electricity suppliers. When the bids come in, they're only good for a couple of hours because the electricity market is so volatile. So what Bellingham has always done in the past and what other communities do is you authorize the town administrator to take the bids, and if he likes a bid, to accept a bid and sign a contract for the program. And so I think those are the motion ahead, before you tonight would be to authorize the town administrator to do that as you have done in the past.
Any questions?
Typically, how long are the contracts good for?
Yes, great question. So usually between 1 and 3 years. And each time the town will make a decision on the term, we'll get bids for 1 year 1 year term, 2 year terms, 3 year terms, and see what are the prices seem most favorable. Right now, given the electricity prices are so volatile, given the war in Iran, we'd recommend on the shorter side, 1 year, potentially 2, certainly not longer than that in this environment. But the town will decide, or the town administrator will decide when he sees the bids.
I have 2 questions. You said to hire you as a consultant, what would you be charging the town to be our consultant?
Yes, so the way a firm like mine gets paid is it's a broker fee on the contract, so it's so we don't get actually paid by the town. Our fees included in the price of electricity, and it's 1/10 of 1 cent for every kilowatt hour of electricity through the program.
And now, just a second one. I know the governor is trying to stop third-party suppliers. Where will we be if we sign in with you on this and then she gets rid of third party? Because when you're locked into a rate now, to get out, you're usually having to pay a disconnection fee of like 150, 250, depending on the company.
Yes, and that's a really good question. So the governor supports programs like this, and the efforts to eliminate third-party electricity are for individual contracts with electricity suppliers, but not for programs like this. So this program wouldn't be affected if the governor's proposal goes forward. This would stay in place.
So she's trying to just change it where I couldn't go myself and get a third party rate.
Correct. But you could still be in the program.
Thanks.
Mhm.
No, but yeah, no other questions.
Mr. Martinez, do you have anything to add?
No, not at this time. I don't.
Then I would like to move the select board vote to authorize the town administrator to sign the contract with the
Grin like a
Thank you.
smile. Yeah.
Peregrine to manage the program.
For a second?
Second.
I just have one comment. I'm sorry, I should have mentioned that. I agree with the gentleman that a 1 year agreement makes a lot of sense considering the situation. We're under the volatile nature of electricity and the cost. I know in the past we've done this, we entered into 3 year agreements, but I think this is probably the most wise decision is 1 year.
There's there's 2 motions on
Right. should-
Together?
No, so you did, you have.
Yeah.
We have a second. For the motion.
Oh, that's okay.
All right, roll call, Mr. Spencer.
Cody, aye.
So, Martha.
Jen, aye.
So Neil.
Aye.
Mr. Martinez.
Don, I,
All right, aye, 5-0.
Then second I move that the select board vote to authorize the town administrator to accept bids and sign an electricity contract that will determine term length and electricity rates.
Have a second?
Second.
All right, Mr. Spencer.
Cody, aye.
Jen, aye.
Kim, okay.
Mr. Martinez.
Don, I.
5-0. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Make sure you get us like a rate. Maybe I'll switch.
I'll do my best.
I do my own now.
Well, that history shows that it's been pretty
Yeah.
favorable for us, so.
Been great so far. Tough
Keep our
times
fingers crossed.
now, so we'll do our best.
All right.
Thank you very much.
No problem. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Amy.
Hi.
How are you?
Talk about early voting. First, we're gonna vote on the warrant, yes,
Yes,
pretty standard.
I think I'm sure Hillary, you'll just need a vote to execute the state primary election warrant.
Yes, do I have a vote?
Remove Jen.
Second by Ken, Mr. Spencer.
Cody, aye.
Jen, I.
Mrs. O'Neill.
Pamela.
Mr. Martinez.
Don, I.
All right, 5-0. And then we do.
So we're also gonna talk a little bit about early voting. I wanted to put it in front of you ahead of time because we have a week required early voting in September. That's required by the state, nothing I can do to change the hours to that. There's 2 weeks of early voting required for the November 3rd election. The week before the election has to be full business hours, but the week before that can be 50% business hours if you approve it. So we would still, if you approve that, we would still have a week of business hours, early voting, 2 Saturdays, and then I would propose having half days the week before. It's a lot of early voting. Any other questions on?
No, so you just need us to say,
We,
We typically done it in the past. Yeah.
we need a vote to limit early voting hours to 50% of regular business hours. Week 1 before the state election.
Is that what we usually done?
yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how we did with them.
And
Don-
that's Saturday.
Don, do you have any input on this?
You're
You're
muted.
on mute, Don.
I'm sorry, there was something happened with the audio and video for a second. So I didn't quite hear what Amy was saying about the early voting hours. Could you just repeat that? I'm sorry.
Right, Amy.
Sure. So there's 1 week of early voting hours required for the September 1st primary. There's 2 weeks of in-person early voting hours required for the November 3rd state election, I believe is the 3rd. The week prior to the election, the immediate week prior to the election has to be held per the state normal business hours. So we'll be open normal business hours. The week before that is normal business hours unless you all take a vote to reduce that to 50%. So that would be 9 to 1, I guess.
Amy, what are normal business hours? 9 to 5?
So it would be 8:30 to 4:30.
8:30 to 4:30. So I'm not in favor of, I know it's a burden and I know there's a cost burden, but on an election that we had a few years back, there were a lot of residents that felt that, and they were very public about it, that we, by cutting the hours or changing the hours from an early morning voting to like from 12 to 8, I know this is just an example, it's not what you're asking for. There was a lot of feedback from residents saying that it wasn't fair. They wanted to have, as much right to vote, and it wasn't convenient for them, etc. So I'm just gonna. My opinion is that we should keep the hours open unless there's, normal business hours instead of cutting it back. We should give every resident the right to vote, and if the state says it should be 2 weeks in advance and they're aware of that, then we should give them 2 weeks in advance. That's just my opinion. It doesn't mean it's the way it should be.
That's why I kind of went to you. I wasn't sure. I remember there was something that had happened. People weren't happy.
They were very unhappy about when this is before Amy. This is before Amy.
No.
So
We're talking about, I think, 2 different animals.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only thing I would say to that is we do have a full week of early voting
The following week, that's what I was.
the following week, and we have 2 Saturdays.
It's like a warm up act.
Yeah. And the 50% hours, would still be during business hours, so, we could do one 9 to 2.
So everybody's gonna have ample opportunity to vote if we would.
And we also have mail-in voting, which I am getting postcards like Harry Potter got the invitation to Hogwarts, so.
The first time or towards the end?
Oh, the times. Very busy.
All right,
I appreciate that feedback, but I think it is two different, respects, so.
I mean, I can see, I can see what Dawn is saying, 100%. But I think it is two separate animals. I think this is also a little bit of a cost factor.
And we have the week to follow, so
Yeah,
there's
the
a
week
full
follow, full
after.
week, 2 Saturdays.
On
Mrs.
Tuesday.
O'Neill, do you have any input on that?
I can make a motion. if
Go
you'd
for it,
like.
whatever you wanna do.
I can make a motion to reduce it to 50% of the regular business hours for the first week and to hold it regular hours for the second week. Is that
For the
right?
November 3rd elections.
For the November 3rd election.
Second, Jen.
Mr. Spencer,
Cody, aye.
Mrs.
Jen,
Almonte,
Jen, I.
Mrs. O'Neill,
Kim, I.
Mr. Martinez,
Don, nay.
and Mike, aye. 4-1.
Thanks. Bye, Amy.
All right, so we're a little early to start the planning board meeting. So, can we jump to other business real quick?
Yes.
We don't want to start with business.
Oh, okay.
All right. And Mr. Sturm is with us. Can you come on up or do you want to stay right there? Okay.
This is,
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. I know. All right. So Mrs. Sturm, if you wanna, just tell the board why you got in touch with me and what you, what this is all about.
Okay, I originally, applied for the license, when my company was all together under one, umbrella as Cranes 101 Incorporated. When we, actually went into the hearing, I was aware that I broke the company up, but I wasn't aware that it wasn't on the application. Cranes Aerial Truck Service was a DBA under Cranes 101 Incorporated. And I incorporated it because it fit the business at hand better. It is a repair shop, and which is necessary for the dealer's license. So my only reason to come back here again was to just change the name on the license to Cranes Aerial Truck Service Incorporated.
Yep, that's it. So there's not gonna be, if you recall, we had a lot of.
we have a lot of history.
Yeah, and a lot of stipulations on the license, so that all would remain the same. The only thing that he's trying to do is change the corporation name on the class 1 dealer's license, and we had to do this formally before the board. I couldn't just change it.
Do I have a motion to change the name as presented to the select board?
So moved.
Second, Jen,
All right, roll call vote, Mr. Spencer,
Cody, aye.
Mrs. Almonte,
Jen, I.
Mrs. O'Neill,
Kim, I.
Mr. Martinez,
Don, I.
5-0. Thank you.
You're all set.
I'm glad we could get through that.
A lot easier than the 12 other times.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good
Thanks
day.
for coming in. Appreciate it.
All right. Well, thanks for sliding me in.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right, so we're still a little bit early.
A little bit.
Yep.
You want to do the gift
Yeah,
acceptance?
absolutely.
Mrs. Almonte, do you want to handle it?
I move the board of selectmen accept the gifts and grants as listed herein and some expenditures to be under the direction of the parties noted. Fund 6312 for $50 from Lulianos to the donation of the fire truck restoration account to be spent by the historical commission.
All right. Do we have a second?
Second.
All right, Mr. Spencer,
Cody, aye.
Mrs. Almonte,
Jen, I.
Mrs. O'Neill,
Kim, I.
Mr. Martinez,
Don, I.
5-0. Can we just go right down the line and
Yep,
do the
absolutely.
open meeting law violation?
No, the next thing is the vote to execute release of
Oh.
certificate not to encumber. So this is the community development grant, the rehab, the housing rehab grant. So Mike, I know you normally sign these. So this particular residence 20 Overlook Drive had a rehab loan. And if you don't stay in the home within the time of before the loan depreciates, you need to pay the loan back. So we're just asking the chairman to sign the release of certificate not to encumber because they did pay the loan back and there's a lien on their property, so we need to release the lien.
No problem.
So if we could just have a vote to have the chairman sign the release of certificate not to encumber.
So move Jen.
Second.
All right. Mr. Spencer?
Cody, aye.
Mrs. Altamonte?
Jen, I.
Mrs. O'Neill?
Goodbye.
Mr. Martinez?
Don, I.
Do I have, am I allowed to say aye? Do I?
Yeah,
have to
you
say-
can.
Oh, I got it. Okay.
All right.
Exactly.
Right. All right, so the next thing is the open meeting law violation complaint from Patrick Higgins. We need to review the complaint and discuss the response that KP Law came up with. We received an open meeting law complaint from Mr. Higgins that lives in Alabama. He noticed on one of the select board agendas that we did not list the select board appointment names of the individuals who are being appointed or reappointed to various boards and committees. So KP Law has drawn up a response. We need to respond to the Attorney General's office by July 29th. And if the draft letter looks okay, we need you guys to authorize to file it as presented. I'm gonna be very detailed on my agendas going forward.
Right.
You'll see lots of stuff on there now.
So crazy.
We're just voting to
We're
have
just-
KP Law give
yeah,
that.
We just vote to
response.
authorize us to file this response with the Attorney General's office.
I'll make a motion.
We have a second.
Second Joe.
No, good.
Second Jen.
All right, Mrs. Spencer?
Cody, aye.
Mrs. Altamonte?
Jen, I.
Mrs. O'Neill?
Goodbye.
Mr. Martinez?
Don, I.
5-0.
Okay.
Do we have a motion to vote on the minutes for the July 6th, 2026 meeting?
Motion to approve the minutes from the July 2026 meeting.
Second Jen.
All right, Mr. Spencer?
Cody, aye.
Mrs. Altamonte?
Jen, I.
Mrs. O'Neill?
Goodbye.
Mr. Martinez?
Don, I.
Aye, aye, 5-0. Chris, this is like the easiest meeting I think you've been a part of.
It's not over yet, so.
Mr. Chair, Mr. Chair,
Yes, sir.
may I have the floor for just 1 second, please?
That is all yours, Mr. Martinez.
Before we get deep into some things, I just wanted to make the town aware. I'm not there. I'm on business on the West Coast. But tonight at Fenway Park, the girls that won the state volleyball title, the championship last year, were honored tonight at Fenway Park before the national anthem. The team, parents, kids all were at the game. So I just wanted to give a shout out to the girls volleyball team that won the state championship last year. They were honored at Fenway Park this evening. So that's all I wanted to say before I get lost.
Outstanding. Awesome, thank you.
All right, we can probably do one more thing on here.
Let's go.
And it's the, so right now we have posted August 17th, which is the third Monday in August for the select board meeting. Both Joe and I are going to be away, bringing our youngest to college. And so we were looking to see if the board would mind, moving the meeting to Monday, the 24th instead.
I'm good with that.
Yeah, I got no problem with that.
Mr. Martinez, does Monday, the 24th in lieu of August 17th work for you? You're on mute.
Sorry. I'm likely to be away on business on that day for a conference, but I'll try to join the way I'm joining. So I'm okay with that.
Okay. Mrs. O'Neill.
I'm good.
Okay, do you need us to make a motion?
Yes, please.
I have a motion to change the August 17th, 2026 meeting to Monday, August 24th, 2026 at 7 p.m.
So Jen.
Second.
All right, Mr. Spencer,
Cody, aye.
Mrs. Altamonte,
Jen, I.
Mrs. O'Neill,
Goodbye.
Mr. Martinez,
Don, I.
Mike, aye, 5-0.
Awesome. All right. Wow.
We
You'll
just,
send out an update.
I will send out a new.
I have double on my calendar now because I put mine and then I get you.
Oh, then you got mine. Okay,
Yeah.
sorry. Yeah, so I'll fix it and send out a reminder.
sorry, I need to All right, we are now going to be looping in the planning board. For this section of the meeting, so I'm going to turn this over. And Mr. Marty Roach.
Thank you, Chair. I'd like to get a motion to open the joint meeting with the select board. Monday, July 20th, 2026 at 7:30 PM.
So moved, Phil.
And a second,
Second.
roll call vote,
July.
Patrick, I.
Jasmine, I.
Steve, I.
Marty, aye. 5-0.
In the, just before we get to our candidates, in the matter of time constraint, I am asking that, all board members, please limit the questions to one question, related to planning board specific items, and if there's a follow-up necessary, obviously, you can ask a follow-up, but let's try to keep this on track. We do have many candidates, and we are voting tonight on the member. So just in the constraints of time, please, I ask that you adhere to that. And I believe Mr. Roach has something.
Yes,
he needs to-
Mr. Chair, if you'd like, can I take the floor from?
You can have the floor, Mr. Roach.
At this time, I'd like to read a statement from Bill O'Connell. He sent it to me just prior to me walking into the meeting. Mike and I spoke and we thought it was appropriate. I want to thank you for allowing me to interview for the position of planning board as associate member. As I prepared to be interviewed 2 weeks ago for the position, I put together a list of strengths that I, along with others, believed would make me a strong candidate to fill the position. I still believe that many of those qualifications are in place and would allow me to succeed in this position. However, sadly, 2 weeks ago, as I was preparing to drive to the meeting, fate and nature intervened and I had a reoccurrence of a rapid heart rate resulting from a genetic defect in my heart that warranted a trip to the ER at Beth Israel. I was admitted to the hospital for 3 days of medical treatment and observation. There is no cure for this genetic defect and I need ongoing medical treatments. So after careful consideration and contemplation and input from family, friends, as well as my team of doctors at Beth Israel and Leahy Clinic, I have reached a decision that I would like to withdraw my application for this position. After having served this town for over 30 years in elected and appointed positions, I need to prioritize my health. I'd like each and every member of both boards to know that I did not reach this decision lightly, and I cannot stress enough that it was solely reached as a result of recent medical conditions and nothing else. I wish the other candidates well, and I'm sure the town will be well served by the next associate member of the planning board. Thank you.
That is very well said. Bill, I wish you nothing but the best. I know we've had a lot of conversations over my time here. You've supported me when I ran both times. Bill, you've given your heart and soul to this town for many, many years. You owe the town of Bellingham, at least in my eyes, enough. So get better, Bill. That's all right, with that being said, Ms. Bueno. Front and center, man.
Come on up.
First name on the.
Alphabetical order.
You're the first name on the list.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
Is what alphabet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Unless you got a Oregon, you can go back a few weeks ago.
Yeah, right.
But ma'am, just honestly, same as we've done every other candidate, please tell us about yourself and why you want to run.
So my name is Geisha Bueno. Maybe I'm new to the town. I only have 4 years living in Bellingham. So I saw the post on Facebook and I said, well, why not to help my community and trying to learn how that works, board community, how the appliance go. I'm a GC contractor right now and I'm applicant for permits in another towns. So I know how to work in the other side. I don't know how to work inside the paperwork, how the people just say yes or no to the permits. So I would like to learn a little bit more about that. Yeah.
I'm gonna open this up to the select board members if they have any questions.
Yeah, so my only question is if you were appointed, is this something you would see yourself running for a full-time seat, a voting position? Possible, yeah.
That's possible.
That's my only question.
No questions from me.
Mrs. O'Neill,
I don't have any questions right now. Thank
Mr.
you.
Martinez.
I would just like to thank you for coming to the board. The one question I have is, this is a 3-year appointment. Are you prepared to do this for 3 years?
Yeah, if I don't move for the town, yeah, why not?
Okay, well, thank you.
Yeah,
Mr. Roach, over to you.
This is quite a time commitment. There's a lot of documentation. I don't know if you've looked at the website on our upcoming projects and then all the documents that are submitted by the applicants. And we meet twice a month. Are you able to put that commitment in for the 3 years? As Mr. Martinez said, it is a lot of work, so it is a commitment.
so if my health makes me to do it, yeah, and if I'm available, yeah, why not?
One of the questions we've been asking on the interviews is basically, do you live near any existing projects or have a conflict that could exist because of a business relationship? And you mentioned a general contractor's license. Do you work in Bellingham at all?
No, I don't have any customers in Bellingham, but if I had,
Yeah.
I would draw anything that needs to be with a premise, and I'm not interested with that. If something that happens.
And we've had candidates and members that have had business relationships, and they usually disclose it ahead of time if it
Yeah.
came up, and basically they'd have to recuse themselves on an individual situation if there was a business relationship that existed. But thank you for answering the question.
Yeah.
Have you seen any of the meetings online yet? And if so, what'd you think?
Not really,
Okay.
but I listen a lot on Facebook. But yes, I have a lot of good reading about it, but I never see the videos before.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the only question I have.
My question is, so you've worked with permitting before and well, what is it that you do? Please share.
So my husband have a business, like a construction business, it's in IGC, and handle the permits for the towns. It's just me applying for the permits on the town.
So
I
you-
never applied for the special permits before, so I don't know how that works.
Okay.
I can read plans, I know about budgets, I know
Okay.
about numbers,
Yeah.
yeah,
So you've never had to interact with like a planning board or zoning board or anything like that
Never.
before? Okay,
I would like to learn, yes.
Yeah. awesome. Thank you.
Well, actually, I had 4 questions, but if we're limited to one, I'll just share these questions among the candidates. So the question I have for you is, what part of your personal or professional experience do you think will help you as an associate member if you're appointed?
Well, I think I can be impartial. I don't have any agenda with any company or any development company. So I would like to be like by laws and regulations, follow what is the meetings of for the companies that apply for the permits and just find regulations and law, apply them to. We just be impartial. I don't know. I see it like I need to keep just like be impartial in everything. Yeah.
Thank you.
Do you have any questions of us?
So you guys have any project that is like giving headaches to you guys right now? Like a back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
Every project.
Every project, okay.
No, every project is smooth.
There's a lot that goes into it. When an application goes in, the construction plans have to go through what's called peer review. So that's where the back and forth goes between, we have an engineering firm that represents the planning board and will review the plans so that everything is meeting the town bylaws. And that's where the back and forth goes. So there's always a lot. It's never a quick one and done meeting.
Okay,
It's a long process.
yeah.
Thank you. If you want to stay, we will be. Oh,
We still have extra time, I mean, we had 68 minutes, right?
we didn't
We
really.
can do it, it's up to you, it's your meeting.
I didn't say anything about 68 minutes. I just kind of said, just in the essence of time, we do have 4,
It wasn't communicated by you. It's okay.
we do have other candidates to consider, so. I say just, if you want to hang around, you can
Yeah.
hang around. We will be taking the vote tonight.
Yeah.
For the position.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep.
Miss Justine Cruz Cortado. Nope. Okay. Timothy Maserati.
Close.
Mazzati, oops, sorry. Understood.
Second guess, that was the second guess.
I've spelt it out.
Gavin
in
said
newspapers
first.
many times,
sorry.
only to have it misspelled.
All right.
Sorry.
Is Gavin in the, do you mind going after?
Yeah,
All right.
I can.
No, totally fine.
No, all good.
Stay seated.
You're in the hot seat.
I say now, turn and burn.
Amazing.
Now my papers are out of order.
Oh, you see, I'm going through how it is in the computer, that's why.
Oh,
my God.
It's the computer, I'll be on the computer.
Oh, okay.
All right. Sir, why don't you just tell us a little bit about yourself and what brought your interest to the associate member of the planning board?
Well, every few years, I tend to try to reinvent myself and see where I can help the community the most. Over the years, I've done 20 years of coaching Bellingham youth baseball, 15 of it served on the board of directors. In the last few years, I've been on the board of directors for the Millville Men's Club. I've also served as unit commissioner for the Boy Scouts of America, which I was in charge of 3 different towns.
Oh, wow.
So,
Mr. Spencer.
I'll just ask the same question. Would you consider running if?
well, I consider this a springboard to the possibilities of a future down the line, definitely.
Mrs. O'Connor.
No questions.
Mrs. O'Neill.
No questions.
Mr. Martinez, do you have any questions?
Yes. Hey, Mr. Mazzadri, thank you very much for putting your name in. Really appreciate it. I'm going to ask the same question. I've seen you at many planning board members, et cetera, so you know what they're like. Are you prepared for, the 3-year commitment? I know you've served on boards for a very long time. I probably know the answer, but I want to be fair and ask the same question.
Usually when I set my mind to something, it's a full commitment, and I've been able to separate myself time and time again from personal and professional obligations. 15 years in the supermarket world also helped me to deal with public. So I'm a firm believer that every human being needs to work in retail for at least 1 to 2 years.
Mr. Roach.
To expand on Johnny's, and as you already, same question, there's a lot of details, a lot of documentation, and it's twice a month that we meet. So there is a big commitment on it, and just making sure you're fully aware of the deep end of the pool that you're jumping into.
Documentation is definitely not an issue. I spent 8 years with Fidelity Investments with records management. I had basic knowledge of every record that ever went through Fidelity's books and access to all of their digital information. So,
And the question I've been asking is, do you live near any of the existing projects or have a workplace conflict or other conflict that you might have to disclose?
workplace conflict, no. I work for a machine shop in town, so that's not an issue. As far as living near a place, I've been involved for the last, 3-4 years plus with the North Street / Blackstone Street complex that's gone in. I've attended almost every meeting for that, so I'm well versed at certain parts of how it all plays out.
Okay, so that it
No
doesn't
problem.
bother you probably.
No
have to
problem
recuse
stepping
yourself
aside
later,
and
but-
let the chips fall where they will.
Thank you.
I actually don't have any questions, but I think I've seen you at some of the planning board meetings.
I've been at a lot of the planning board meetings.
Okay.
I was at the last 2 physical planning board meetings because talk about commitment, best way to commit and start by being there before you even need to be.
That was gonna be my point, so I just want to say I appreciate you coming in and checking it out. Thank you.
Well,
Did I hear Devin?
How do you feel disagreeing with other people on the board or people in the town?
I have no problem to agree to disagree. It's 90% of the answers at the end of the day comes down to the charter and the bylaws of the town.
What's the other 10%?
10%, it's my feelings that I usually keep to myself. because it's safer that way.
Good question.
So my question is kind of expanding on Jasmine's a little bit. I wrote this down. So the planning board decisions often involve balancing the strict rules of our bylaws with strong emotional feedback coming from neighbors. So how would you handle a situation if you were in, appointed to this? Where personal feelings and or residents are in conflict with what the town bylaws are?
End of the day, the town bylaws are the town bylaws. You can't skate away from the laws. I mean, it's, feelings are one thing, but the laws are the laws. I mean, in my past jobs, if I went around the laws, I wouldn't have the job. So.
Mr. Rutger, you good?
I'm good.
All right, sir, thank you.
Thank you
You're
very much.
you're welcome to stick around. We will be making the decision tonight.
Absolutely.
Mr. Fisk, Gavin Fisk. Hello. How are you, sir?
Good, how are you?
Start us off, tell us a little bit about yourself and why you were interested in the Associate Planning Board in Jim.
Well, this is Gavin Fisk. I've been in Bellingham for about 3 years now. I was assistant treasurer collector for Dover for about 9 years, and then now I'm on the cultural committee with Jennifer over here. And I've always been interested in municipality government. Growing up from as a kid, my parents were on it, and they still are now. They were in Walpole, and now they're in Falmouth doing it. I left over for my family to do stuff for my family, and I've always just wanted to be more part of it and to give back to the community. I also coach baseball for my son here, and I just want to give back and help out as much as I can, and I want to help Bellingham grow and develop to be the best town possible.
You coach Little Sluggers?
I did.
My granddaughter was on Mrs. Beakley's team.
All right, that was the gold team.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah, we had fun.
It was honest, it was great.
That was so much fun.
It was,
I can't wait for next year.
it's a great program.
It is.
Mr. Spencer.
Same question. If you're appointed, would you be willing to, are you interested in running for a full-time seat or?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Mrs. Altamont.
No questions.
Mrs. O'Neill.
Did not have
Mr. Martinez.
Hey, thank you again. I just want to thank you for stepping up and coaching Little Sluggers and being involved. I just asked the same question that I've been asking, and that are you prepared for a 3-year commitment? Just, as you've heard, it's a lot of hours, it's a lot of meeting time, etc. Are you prepared? Were you aware that it was a 3-year commitment?
Yes.
Okay.
And I am prepared.
Great. That's
I'm
it.
just gonna expand the same question of, there's a lot of research, there's a lot of documentation that we go through and read through. I know you're on baseball and that, we meet on the second and fourth Thursdays of the month, so.
Baseball Saturday.
Okay, that's all I wanted to make sure of, because it's like, I know that's then a very hard decision to make of kids versus planning board.
Oh, I know.
Okay,
And then I worked closely with the planning board when I was in Dover, so I'm good with that.
okay.
Asking the same question again, do you live near any of the existing projects or have any workplace conflicts that may come up in the future?
Work, no, and then the only thing that was done was the Macy's school near me, but I think that was a while ago.
Okay.
Now they're a playground,
No, it's a playground. I remember I was
a long time ago.
around for that one.
Okay.
So thank you.
Have you been to any of the planning board meetings yet, or have you watched them online?
Not planning board, just conservation and the cultural committee ones that we've been holding.
Thank you.
What did you do with the Dover planning board?
I was helping them with permits, doing their minutes, and I hired all their staffing.
Were you like appointed or like? tell us
No,
about
I
that.
was the assistant treasurer collector for the town.
How, can you tell us about that experience or like, can you share more
I
about
was
that?
also doing
I don't know if we asked him about his experience or not,
over there.
or anything.
Um, Yeah, I was doing their payroll, their HR,
Mhm.
all their taxes.
Okay.
Yeah, I did that for 8 to 9 years.
And can you tell us about that experience with like the planning board
Oh,
specifically?
like I would go down there, I'd help them I'd type up their minutes, I attended a couple of their meetings. Yeah, I got along great with their staff, and then we had to work on a big project. We actually hired a land board specialist because we had a plot of land called Hale Reservation that was split with Westwood, that they wanted to sell the plot of land to developers because they wanted to put in 40Bs. And the towns did not want that, and they were trying to blackmail the towns. And so we had to hire someone to have them come in and make it all unbuildable land. So they could not put them in.
Well, thank you.
Yep.
And my question is, when you drive and look around town and look at our current development and public spaces.
Yep.
I'm just curious, is there one thing that you think the town has done really well? And one thing that the town could improve upon?
Some of the roads could be used some improving. Some of the sidewalks could use some improving. I think that's everywhere though.
Yeah.
As far as development.
Everything seems like it's been going well. I'm coming from Walpole, so Walpole's been skyrocketing lately. That's partially why I left. But Bellingham seems to be doing very well lately. I don't see anything wrong with it. But I'm mainly in North Bellingham. I don't go to South Bellingham too often.
Do you have any questions of anyone on the planning board or the select board?
How long have you guys been on the board?
I guess I'll start. I started as the associate member in December of last year, and then I was elected in June of this year, so less than a year.
Okay.
I started as the associate member back in 2017.
All right.
I've been on for a year.
Okay.
I was elected last year.
And just a hair over 2 years.
All right.
And just a hair over a month and a half.
Okay. And that's all I got.
Okay, thank you very much for your time, and if you want to hang out, we will be doing discussions and making a selection this evening.
That sounds good. All right, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. So Bradley, good turnout.
Hello.
Nick Barrento.
Oh, okay.
I'm sitting in local politics, helping out where I can. In my career, I have 20 years as a manufacturing engineer adjacent role, mostly technical problem solving and technical leadership. Feel like that sort of insight might be valuable on the board. I've been in Bellingham for about 5 years and raising my family here over in North Bellingham. Pretty much it.
Mr. Spencer.
Since my question's been super redundant, what made you want to get involved?
I've spent time following, I guess, following politics online and such is a little bit of a loaded phrase these days, but it's always been something that I've been interested in. How can I make an impact and how can I make a difference? And I think this is a role like this is the correct way to start.
Thank you.
No questions.
Ms. O'Neill?
No, thank you.
Mr. Martinez?
Yes. Can you hear me? Okay. So I just want to follow up on that last comment you made, sir. And unfortunately, I didn't hear your name through the video here, but you said planning board is a good place to start. I'm just curious why you feel the planning board is a good place to start. I know I've asked everyone that, are you prepared for 3 years? Everyone's saying yes, so I'm not going to say the same thing. But I'm curious as to why you feel the planning board's a good place to start. And I guess I'll follow up with, do you see yourself, if you do get this position, do you see yourself running for a more permanent position?
I think it's a good place to start based on my career choices. I think having an engineering adjacent role and being a technical problem solver it fits this role well. And of course, I'd be willing to go longer if it works out.
So I just want to follow up. What type of engineer are you, sir? I mean, are you a civil engineer? Are you
It's
mechanical or
manufacturing,
manufacturing?
manufacturing automation, yep.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Same question I've asked everyone. It's a big commitment. It's twice a month. There's a lot of documentation to go through and decipher. You're willing to put in the time, and that it's because it is a commitment.
Yep, all of my career roles have been in med device manufacturing, so working with FDA documentation. No struggles with that and no scheduling conflicts.
Okay.
Same question I've been asking is, do you live near any of the projects, or you've already discussed your work, so. I'll ask the same question, but I'll let you answer it.
Not that I'm aware of. I believe there's something going on Maple Street, some sort of discussions about a battery facility or something like that. I don't know if that was just rumors or not, but
There's one up in a different street, but there's one up there.
yeah, I'm not super close to that, but it is in my general area.
And maybe a follow-up on, when you say follow local politics, will you expand upon that a little bit?
I haven't necessarily been following local politics, but like anybody else, it's difficult to dodge the news. So everybody has opinions that are formed, and I guess it's natural to think how can I be a part of this process versus just being a spectator.
Okay, thank you.
How do you feel you would handle disagreements and conflict with decisions being made on the board, within board members, within the group?
I think discussion is kind of the point. I think part of the point of having multiple members as opposed to just one person making decisions is to have an opportunity to hear dissenting opinions. That's how I would handle it, in my opinion, and that's why you vote.
All right, good answer. Thank you.
Politics. We love them. But we can't use them often when it comes to making decisions. But things do get pretty political when we're dealing with a small town. How do you do that? How do you leave politics to the side when you're making a decision on something that impacts people's lives?
I think this role is a lot less about a political team and using that sort of platform to make a decision, and more about what's best for this community. I think there's a time and a place to have a sort of political opinion. I don't necessarily think this role is that.
And I guess my question here is, when we go through applications, we deal with things such as safety, traffic, stormwater. We look at site plans, utilities, and engineering. All of that's covered. Are there any areas that you feel as though, coming into this, that you've got some strengths in, or some weaknesses? And when I say weakness, it's not a fault, it's just, something that you have to take some time to learn, because we do cover an awful lot when we go through these applications.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking at this as a learning opportunity. Most of my expertise is in manufacturing, not necessarily civil engineering or anything like that. I am a technical guy. I'm quick to understand those sorts of things, even though I don't have maybe the minutia already in my tool belt. But I'm looking forward to learning.
And just so you know, I mean, it's been a little over 2 years for me. And when we go through applications, I don't necessarily, understand every aspect of it. And I need to go back and get educated on what's being talked about, because I'm far from an expert on everything. So
your research.
Yep.
Do you have any questions for anyone on the planning board or the select board?
No, nothing that hasn't been asked already.
Okay,
Thank you.
well, thank you very much for your time.
May I ask the gentleman just to state his name? I didn't hear it. I apologize.
It's Bradley Parento.
Bradley, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Now we basically just need to discuss potential candidates, all right, at least on the select board side, any discussion we would like to have.
I think we're lucky that we've got a lot of great candidates
Yes.
from a lot of different walks in life and interests, and it was nice to hear everyone's stating what they're interested in and what they want to get involved in, so.
Yes, we had a lot of different backgrounds. Mrs. O'Neill, do you have any?
Can we, is there a way to look back at the
old one?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I wish I kept my notes.
sorry.
They're at home.
I think I have them.
So I definitely don't want to forget about them as well.
So Anna Colville, we had two that night, Anna Colville and,
Jason Moore.
Jason Warren is the,
Jason Warren.
The
He,
Annapolis grad
he was
supply.
the military guy. And, Anna Cole.
She was from
the-
Providence.
the Providence, she was the,
Commercial.
property manager, yeah.
It's in economic development in
Yeah.
in
Do you
Providence.
wanna look at her resume?
Could I look at both of them, please? Thank you.
It's in this package.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Mr. School, do you have any input?
No, I have two people in the front of my mind that I like, that I think would fit the role well, and would be able to work with everybody else there on the boards. Dude, what do you want? What do you want to? Do you want to hear
What do
from
we
the planning board? What do you want to?
No, I'm going around to hear from everybody. This is not that.
I can keep two strong forwards right now on my list.
That's what I have as
Yeah.
well.
I didn't hear that. I'm sorry.
I was going around with the select board side of things, asking,
Okay.
basically what they thought. Mr. Spencer said he has two strong candidates. Mrs.
Okay.
Almonte has two strong candidates. I have two strong candidates in
Okay.
my notes.
I'm between 2 and 3.
Okay.
I'm between 2 and 3 myself.
I have two strong ones and, I don't know, I'm gonna mention mine, if that's, that's okay, and
Can we be open?
I think,
Oh, yeah, you know, that's what I was asking. I didn't know.
I'm not,
I'm
not prepared to make a motion now, but this is open discussion.
It is open discussion, yes.
And, two candidates stuck out with me, Gavin Fisk and, also, Tim, I'm gonna mispronounce it, but, Tim, Mazzardi. Both of those kind of stood out in my mind. I think there's a lot of fine candidates here, though, so.
Yes.
We, in 10 years, we haven't had this many good candidates with us, so thank you, everybody who did apply. Thank you.
I think we're at a crucial point. In town, basically with, it was highlighted last month, new growth.
Yeah.
I think that the planning board does have a pretty significant role. In that along with zoning, code, and all that. So I think that drew put a lot of spotlight that we do need a lot of involvement in town. Great. Mr.
So just like everyone here, I have two people in mind that I'm going back and forth on. I won't mention them right now, but I have some procedural questions. I don't know if this is the appropriate time for that.
Sure.
How are we gonna vote? And you need 6 votes to get in, is that correct?
So in my experience,
Yep.
it's always been the select board, we vote, and then it goes over to the planning board side. Mr. Devine, you've been a part of every one that I've been a part of, so.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
someone can make a motion, someone can second it.
Okay.
And then we'll ask, does anyone have another motion, someone else that they might want to appoint? But we always vote on the first one. And if that motion passes, then you're done. But if it doesn't, we'll go to the next motion and so
Yeah.
on. And so forth.
So there's, Hillary,
So it
Just-
has to pass the select board first.
No,
No,
No.
No.
It's a majority.
it's a majority of the combination of both. boards.
both boards. So it does require 6. It will be 6 votes. So it's 3 from the select board, 3 from the planning board. So that's kind of how it's been done in the past, but it is majority.
And it's based off of that first motion, that would be the first
You
person.
need to make a, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I wasn't able to add I wanted to thank everybody again for, there are some wonderful candidates there. And the associate position is really designed to be a position from a learning perspective. You learn because there's a lot to learn, there's a lot to know. For those that don't realize, you don't have a vote unless unless there's a requirement for you to have a vote. So I think it's important that that first year you're got open ears and open eyes, and you'll learn a lot and be involved and ask as many questions. I have two folks in mind. One of them, and I'll just say their names. I could say any one of them. I'd be happy if there was one of you and only one of you. I'd be fine with it. So this is not anything against anybody, but I have the two that I was thinking was Mr. Mazzagri and in the last one, Mr. Parento. Both think that you would serve the board, and I would give my edge to Mr. Mazzagri just because he's been in town a long time. He's been to several planning board meetings and even select board meetings over the years. So he's been very involved in the town. He knows the town, and that would be the way I see things. But either one of them, I'd be happy with any of them, but those are the two top, and I don't mind saying them out loud because I've always been open with my feelings. So that's how I feel. And so someone will either make a motion. I could make a motion, but unless everyone has another chance. Yeah, let everyone talk first.
Yeah, I was gonna let Mr. Goyette, I know he's.
Yes,
hasn't
please.
spoken yet.
And Jasmine hasn't spoken yet, so Jasmine's
Okay,
gonna go
sorry.
ahead.
Jasmine
I
was
didn't
just
mean
speaking,
to.
I thought.
I didn't mean to step
No,
on
I
you.
was just going off of, I was just going off of a question. So, I just want to say that, I think that the town is, from what I have seen, is looking for change. And, I think we've seen some really good candidates, but I also think that the town is looking for people who are new and innovative. I thought that Anna was a fantastic candidate. She brought a lot of ideas, a lot of the things that are going on in Providence, as wild as Providence it's really refreshing. I've been there several times with my family. I'm new to Bellingham, and seeing what's going on in Providence, it's really enthralling. I have a 21-year-old that lives at my house, and when he first came to Bellingham, he was like, "Why did you move out here? It's so frustrating." But now he sees why we moved out here and what he has access to. We need to really think about how do we keep Bellingham a nice residential place, but also a place that's going to be developed in a way that keeps it residential, but still brings in some really solid tax dollars. And we need to have a planning board that also thinks about it in that way when we're getting permits in front of us. We have a master plan that's coming up soon. We need people that are thinking about Bellingham that's towards the future. Anna was a really great candidate for that. So she really sticks out in my mind. I wanted to put that out there. We can't really just think about, what's been for the longest. I do also have to say that I did like Timothy as a candidate as well, but I really think that Anna stood out for me.
Before we make, I just asked it for any motions made that we hear from Mr. Goyette.
I'm sorry.
Before anybody makes a motion, I would like to hear what you have to say.
Yeah, thank you. I happen to agree with Jasmine, but first, let me just say this, any of the candidates would do well in this position, any of them, so I want to make that clear. But for me, Anna stood out, her background in real estate, her, the way she talked about, the position, she reminded me, to tell you the truth, she reminded me a lot of a former planning board member, Liz, who was a fantastic board member, and she reminds me of that just with her background, her mannerism, and I think her approach to the position. Not that anybody else would not do well, but I think she stood out for me.
So I've heard two names. Actually, I haven't shared my names on the list yet. And the two people have been mentioned multiple times. So I'm just gonna kind of make a motion Yeah, if it gets shot down, it gets shot down. I'm gonna make a motion to appoint Timothy Mazzaggi as the associate planning board member.
I'll second it.
Okay, roll, I think we do roll call.
No, is there any other motion?
Oh, sorry, is there any other motions?
I would like to.
I will motion for Anna to be.
That was my second.
Oh, so did we have the same?
Yeah, the same too.
Oh, did we? That's so funny. I will.
We have a motion on the floor for Mr. Mazzagri. Now we have a motion on the floor. We need a sec, or we have a second, for the round.
Can we go further?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but we're making motions. Go ahead.
I would like to make a motion for Bradley Rento to be considered.
Okay.
Second.
Okay. Any motion for any other candidate? Okay, now, what do we do?
This was my motion, we vote on, roll call vote on the first motion.
You have a roll call, okay.
This was six.
All right, Mr. Spencer,
Cody, aye.
Jen, nay.
Mike, aye.
I would.
Dawn?
say aye.
Oh, Don, Kim was aye, Don.
Well, I'm sorry, I didn't hear her.
Oh, Kim was, you're good, Don, bye.
Don, I.
Marty, aye.
Bill, aye.
Patrick, I.
Jasmine, nay.
Steve, nay.
That's right.
Okay, do we have to go through any of the other ones?
Nope.
No,
The
okay.
motion passes. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ayes and 3 nays. So the motion passes.
Okay. Mr. Mazzagri.
Welcome aboard.
Welcome.
Welcome aboard. At this time, I'd like to close the.
Oh, does anybody have any-
I thought we had. You guys are gonna do a.
Oh, the other presentation,
Yep.
sorry. Forgot about that.
No, I just want to say, does anybody have anything to, so the motion passed.
Yeah, and I want to thank everybody who
Yeah,
did
thank you.
apply, and there's always opportunities in the future for people who want to get involved, whether it's the planning board.
Oh. All right, sorry, go ahead.
Rachel Benson, Director of Planning and Community Development, week 11 in this position. I will
What's happening the
say
weeks though?
that the ZBA has 2 open slots for an associate member position as well. And there's a little bit more flexibility on your voting. So just email me and we can get you sent, or Hillary can have you fill out an availability card. But yeah, two spots open for the ZBA as well. And also the Finance Committee has an opening too.
You're in the finance, right?
They haven't made any appointments yet, so I thought they closed the posting, but I'm not 100% sure on
I
that.
gotta reach out to that person.
Yeah.
One more thing, I can swear you in tonight.
Yes.
Oh,
Because you have to be sworn in by Thursday.
so when you're done with
Meeting
this part of the
Thursday.
meeting. And Tim, I'll send you an email tomorrow and give you a bunch of the.
That's
other
why you
information.
stayed.
Excellent, thank you. So, congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you to all the candidates.
Yeah,
Please.
Have a good night.
Yes, that interests you on line
reservation.
about the commit.
And be on the lookout, please stay on Facebook.
You know about it?
I know all about it. Listen, I was part of Boy Scouts of America for about 12 years, $10 million each. Nice job.
Mr. Mazzagri, Amy's gonna. Thank you. Great, okay, so now we good with that? Anybody have any input they want to add before we?
No, I'm very happy.
Oh, well, now we have a big part of the meeting to go.
I know, the huge part.
The big part, well, this was a big part, but now we have another big part.
Yeah.
No pressure, Steve.
Yeah.
Go with the bang.
Steve, front and center, please. Yes.
Wow.
I don't know how to follow up that, but here we are. Hi, everyone. I'm Stephen Mino. I'm from the Massachusetts Department of Energy Resources. Well,
You want me to bring this up on the screen?
yeah, that'd be
Okay.
great. And I'll just hand out, I just have like a whole packet of info for everyone.
Thank you very much.
Oh, yeah, of course.
I'm gonna take a second one for Tim. There you go.
Yeah.
So thank you again for having me here. My name is Stephen Mino. I am with the Massachusetts Department of Energy Resources. My title's a long one. It's Clean Energy Siting and Permitting Regional Coordinator for the central region of Massachusetts. So what I'm here to talk to you about is the 2024 climate law that the legislature passed, the governor signed in November 2024. What changes it means at the local level for siting and permitting. And this is, so Rachel was on one of the webinars I did for this that was much longer. This is a more higher level, just kind of like the highlights and what you should know as the select board and as the planning board. So I think I have 10 minutes and then we'll have any questions. And I have my business cards if anyone has any other questions that come up, but in the packet, you'll find some frequently asked questions and some other helpful resources. So just to give you a little context, so why am I here? Why am I talking about clean energy? As we saw from some of the previous presentations tonight, we're really seeing a rise for demand in energy, for electricity, for different types of energy. And so thinking about ways to build fast and more reliable energy resources, solar and storage facilities are a quicker way to provide that cost-effective energy. In terms of benefits to residents and communities, clean energy obviously helps us reduce emissions, create economic development with the creation of more local jobs. But we've also seen that with, as there were discussions earlier with the war in Iran and, the energy market can be pretty volatile. So by creating more local energy sources, we're able to create a more reliable and affordable grid. And so this is why the legislature has passed several laws around this one. So starting with the 2008 Global Warming Solutions Act. But what I'm here to really talk about is a specific part of the 2024 Climate Act. So in 2023, the governor formed a commission looking at the state's 2050 net zero emissions goals and what the barriers might be for the Commonwealth to meet these pretty ambitious climate emission goals. And so that commission was formed by lots of various partners from the Commonwealth, from the municipal side, the state side, from energy developers, from environmental groups. And kind of three big themes emerged from that committee. One was interconnection, thinking about how do we actually get these projects into the grid and creating and adding these different energy types. Another is cost. And then the third bucket is the one that I'm going to be focusing on, which was a lot of local and state permitting issues related to, in many communities, there were lengthy review times. From the community side, the communities were dealing with a lot of incomplete applications and a lack of technical expertise for actually how to review these solar projects, these battery projects. And there were also a lot of issues where a lot of members of the public felt they weren't informed enough about these projects and until they were too far into the process. So the solution to that was this 2024 climate law. And so what I'm going to be focusing on is something called the consolidated local permitting process. So this is a pathway that developers for clean energy projects can elect into. And every community must start offering this as a permitting pathway starting October 1st of this year. And so what it means is basically all your local bylaws still stand, all the needed permits that they would still have to obtain still stand. But if they elect into this consolidated permitting pathway, it adds a year time frame in order for the community to issue a decision on those permits. The other thing that it changes is it creates only one appeals pathway for that permit, which is now to the state's Energy Facility Siting Board. So instead of the normal appeal routes for a special permit or for a Conservation Commission order of condition, the only appeal under this consolidated local permitting umbrella is to the Energy Facility Siting Board. What also is added to this, if the developers choose this is part of a kind of a carrot and stick approach. The developers also are required to complete something called a site suitability analysis because we want to ensure that these projects are being sited more on pre-developed land and land that's going to have less of an impact to the environment. And so if they choose a site that will cut down trees or, is near environmentally sensitive areas, they're going to be required to do above and beyond minimization and mitigation, more than what your current bylaws, would say. And that's part of, if they're going through this quicker process, we want to make sure they're being sited in, sites that are more suitable for this type of infrastructure. So we'll advance. There we go. The other change that you should be aware of for this, that came with this climate law is the types of permitting authorities slightly changed. So this consolidated local permitting process applies to these small projects. And I put small in kind of big air quotes because what a small project is up to 25 megawatts of generation for solar, wind, or anaerobic digestion. And so to give you an idea of what that means, 25 megawatt solar array is 125 acres. So these are still large projects. But what that's saying is those are still within your purview to permit and create regulations around. Same with storage, so anything under 100 megawatt hours and some small transmission and distribution corridors. So anything above those thresholds that I just mentioned are now going to be cited and permitted through the state's Energy Facility Siting Board. So again, if it's at least 25 megawatts, if it's at least 100 megawatt hours of battery, and most transmission and distribution projects.
Can I just ask a quick question on that?
Yeah.
Stop you, sorry. Just because.
I wanted to also.
Oh, yeah.
Can you go back one slide?
Absolutely, yeah.
All right, so. Under the small one, it says municipality, and then under the large one, it says energy facility sitting board. So does that mean if it's a large. Project. The town doesn't have the say anymore, or?
It's a great question. So what that means is the Energy Facility Siting Board is the one who's issuing the permit.
Okay.
But what you as a municipality would have, and again, the Energy Facility Siting Board is a whole different state agency. So I don't work for them, so I don't know all the details of it, but basically you as a municipality, if a project that came before them happened in your borders, you would get something called intervenor status. And so that means you would be able to engage in the proceedings, and you would also be able to apply and have access to something called an intervenor support grant, which means you get, I don't know the exact amount, but a pretty large sum to hire expert witnesses, municipal consultations to represent you in the EFSB proceedings.
So it's pretty much not us making the decisions anymore, but we
Yeah.
get money.
That was a fancy way to say, yes, we are not involved in the process.
So you are involved in the sense that you are still involved in the proceedings of it. You're able to suggest permit conditions, but correct, you are not the ones issuing the permit for these large projects.
So if something comes in front of, so if a permit is issued, it would then come in front of the planning board? Or-
No, so we're talking about these large projects exclusively. So these are these, at least 25 megawatt solar arrays, at least 100 megawatt hours. So
And
those.
what size acre is that?
For a solar array, we're talking at least like 120 acres. For a battery, it's a smaller footprint.
And that's only if they apply for this specific streamlined permit process.
For these large projects, they're all going
They
through
all
the,
have to go through that
for the Energy Facility Siting Board.
This new law requires it.
Correct.
So,
So there's currently one right now, like, there's currently one in Charlton, there's a battery project. two just got approved in Oakham and Tewksbury. So those are ones that have made the news that you might be more familiar with.
And
So,
We,
sorry, I see multiple questions, so. So for notification, you would be notified, again, so the Energy Facility Siting Board, there is, I might be better if I walk through what this process looks like before I answer that, but are there any other questions?
Pretty much. My concern is if it's going to the siting board. And if the stormwater management doesn't meet our bylaws, what is our recourse?
So it's a great question, and I don't fully know the answer, and I don't want to speak on behalf of the Energy Facility Siting Board. My job and what my responsibility is more for these small projects and where the local municipality is the permitting authority for them.
It sounds like the grant would be for us to send our representation to the sitting boards.
Siting board.
Siting
Yeah.
board.
Yep.
And then there, we would then be able to litigate our bylaws and representation at that time. I'm assuming, I know that you would probably be
Yeah.
assuming.
So the Energy Facility Siting Board, does take local bylaws into account, but they are ultimately the permitting authority. They also, since the 1980s, have had under 40A zoning exemption authority that they've been able to issue as well.
so we have a battery facility here that's pretty hot topic here in town over on Pearl Street. So basically what I'm understanding is that this is now coming out of the hands of the town of Bellingham and the state is taking it over.
How large of a battery?
No, it's.
So you can see from so to give you like a little context, one that was just recently decided, the town of Oakham had 180 megawatt hour project, and that one went through the Energy Facility Siting Board.
So then we have another one that's going in on the Medway line. That one's,
Forget how large it is.
yeah. Rachel, do you know about that?
Those aren't large enough.
Okay.
They would still be local.
Okay, right.
But my question, but you did mention earlier, they could apply for the 1 year streamline permit and we would have to process that.
Yes,
Okay.
so that I'll
And
go.
that's this part.
One
Yeah.
last topic.
Yeah.
That you mentioned on the other screen. So if it's I'm gonna call it super large project.
Yeah, I agree. Small, that
So
that
let's
is the
go to
legal
the
term.
small-
Yeah,
Regular.
Yeah.
The smaller
yeah,
one.
yes.
So we typically would use, and from the planning board point of view, typically would use peer review. And you mentioned that funding would become available on the super large projects.
Yes.
How does the smaller one work as far as funding is concerned for peer review and things like that? Is it the same thing where they are due to, we typically would hire engineers for
Yep.
stormwater, et cetera, et cetera. Is it the same ball game with the smaller ones?
So there is no grant program that's similar to the intervenor grant support fund for the small projects because you're the permitting authority. But
Yeah.
we at DOER, we have separate grants that we issue related around like training on battery safety, for example. We have like an AMP grant, but we don't issue grants for engineering or third-party review currently.
I see that,
If we
I
approve
see
it.
that as kind of so because we do use outside consultants like that, I see that as being
Are they not at the applicant's expense?
Correct,
or-
yes. Yeah, 53G would still be in play for local, because it's local authority.
Okay.
So we'd
So
still
we'd
be
still
able
be
to
in
use
play.
that, utilize that, which is
Yeah, thank
an
you.
estimate comes in, the applicant pays to fund a 53G account, which then we pay the applicant or the peer review out, the engineer. So that still stays in place.
Thank you.
So does the battery storage fall under this?
Yep, so the battery storage is that storage line. Yeah.
So I'm just curious, battery storage is not clean energy and it's not renewable energy. So why is that part of this?
So the climate law defines it as that, and also the Duxbury decision, which was a recent decision, also classified and upheld that battery storage is considered the structures that support clean energy. Battery storage is, an important part of the clean energy grid because For example, it's able to hold energy on these days where we've had over 100 degrees and, people are running their air conditioners. Those batteries have been able to release energy into the grid, so we haven't had to rely on peaker plants. And so which tend to be the dirtiest, most, least clean amounts of energy. So, many people do, yeah, and I understand, but yeah.
Just chime in, so basic, I mean, I'm sorry, I had to run out for a second. This is basically, if there's a project that's over a lot, the state's taking over and taking it out of the hands of the municipality.
Correct, for the Energy Facility Siting Board, yeah.
So storage, generation, turbines, all.
It's all depends on the number of kilowatts.
Yeah.
So and the Energy Facility Siting Board has existed for decades. They've typically been the ones who've approved a lot of substation projects, a lot of transmission and
But at least
distribution projects.
we had the towns, municipalities had a hand in it. Now, basically, the municipalities have no hand in this.
So your hand again.
For the bigger project.
For the bigger projects, again, yeah, your hand would be as an intervener. You would be involved in the proceedings, but you would not be issuing the permit.
I will say also, I was I don't know, maybe about 10 or 15 years ago. Solar projects of any size now are only a site plan approval because they are protected use class. And so you couldn't put any unrestricted, so as long as it met your site plan approval requirements, which essentially all of them do, it's a very low threshold, it was an approval. So just sort of giving it's been a use that's been protected in chapter 48 for a while.
Correct, yeah, since I think 85.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was way off.
Yeah, no.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I feel so bad, but I
This
do
is
have
your
a question.
meeting, no, it's fine, this is why I'm
It's
here.
not our.
Yeah,
I
well,
guess it is
it's
joint
a
meeting,
joint
but-
meeting.
I have a question. You did mention earlier that the site suitability analysis will ensure that the location is an already developed location. I know in other states that places will come in and they may pre-tear down trees. And then that way the trees are kind of already down. And then that way it is kind of already developed. And that way they're not fined ahead of time. How is Massachusetts looking at that? How are they looking at that ahead of time?
So I think there's a couple year look back period that they in the site suitability thing. I don't have a slide on the site suitability in this because I was trying to keep it short, but
Wrong town.
well, I was asked to keep it to 10 minutes. That's
Yeah,
fine.
no,
But Rachel has the presentation. She can circulate it. But basically, the site suitability is a mapping tool. And so you select, and there's 5 criteria that the state required as part of the site suitability. So it's carbon sequestration, it is biodiversity, agricultural resources, social and environmental burdens. And I'm gonna forget the last one off the top of my head, but there's 5, and those are each, and climate resiliency. So those are 5 different mapping layers. So the site is automatically scored based on those maps.
And do they look and see if there are homes already there and they're like but the institution's not buying up homes in the area or were they?
So so the site suitability is just looking at those 5 criteria. So they're not looking at homes, but the applicant would be looking at plots of land where they're trying to, it would be, I guess, Bellingham's if your bylaws allow a solar array to be on the same plot as a home. But, it would be, are you talking about like if it's in residential areas
Or if homes are there and maybe they're going to purchase the homes, demolish the homes or something like that.
So, yeah.
Redevelop, because those are already developed and so they could purchase up homes and redevelop the homes for the land.
This is all again where this process also does for these small projects does not override your zoning
That's where we
bylaws.
can make a decision, but I'm talking about for the large ones, extra large.
I mean, I guess in theory that would happen. I don't see that being as likely for a developer to want to buy land that has a home on it and demolish it just because that would be additional costs. But, you know, but again, I'm less focused, like my role is not as much focused on the large ones. Yeah. So this consolidated local permitting process, this is just like a very quick graphic that walks you through it. But basically, as I mentioned before, if a developer elects into this process, they have to do additional public engagement and outreach earlier on in the process. And that's what that pre-filing bubble is, where before they even submit an application, they have to meet with members of the town, make sure that they go through the project, all the required permits that are needed, flag any issues that are coming up. But then during this pre-filing phase, they are also required to have at least one public meeting, and they have to properly notice it through posting it at least in 2 public places in the community, at least through 2 multimedia outlets such as the newspaper or Facebook. And during this phase, they have to notice abutters and a category of local stakeholders. So, which are community-based organizations and town officials. So at that meeting, the developer presenting, they have to present the site suitability analysis, they have to present any proposed minimization mitigation measures, answer any questions from the anyone in the audience. And at the end of the pre-filing, they have to collect all that information, who they noticed, where they held the meeting, what feedback they received, what they are doing with that feedback. And that's when they submit the application. So the application is essentially, I like to think of it as almost a cover letter of all the required permits that would be needed for the project based on Bellingham's zoning bylaws, your regulations, and rules, with some additional things that we require on the state side if they're doing this consolidated permit application. The applicant would then go and obtain all those individual permits that they are required. So if they need a site plan, if they need a special permit, if they need a wetlands order of conditions, they would have to obtain all of those. And that's where that 12-month time frame is on. So each of those boards has to issue a decision within that 12 months. If any single board issues a denial, the entire consolidated permit is denied. So it's an all or nothing permit. But if a board does not issue a decision within the 12 months time, then the project would receive a constructive approval.
Does that include appeals process?
So the appeals is that what is listed as the de novo adjudication. So the decision, all those boards have to issue a decision, and that consolidated permit decision has to get issued. And then that decision can get appealed to the Energy Facility Siting Board.
Okay, so if one of the board denies it, that's right, they can't go to the typical appeals process. It would be appealed to that site.
Yeah, the EFSB.
That's right,
Yep.
that's right.
Yeah. I will all just note, because it is another bubble here. This I think is for much smaller towns, but it is an option that if you receive a project and you decide that you do not have the resources to permit it or review it, you can refer it to the Energy Facility Siting Board to take over the permitting of it. Based on the questions I've gotten today, I imagine that's not going to be an option for Bellingham, but I did just want to flag that there because it is just another option under this consolidated permitting process. Yeah.
So where it says if no decision issued, then the constructive approval granted. So that just means if one of the boards doesn't give a decision, it just.
Correct. Correct. So that's where.
So it means you have to stay on task and make sure that you're doing your due
Yeah.
diligence.
Exactly. So you want to make sure that each of those boards, whether it's an approval or a denial approval of conditions, you want to make sure they're issuing a decision. We, the constructive approval is, the legislature did include that as a provision. We at the state are actively trying to ensure that, those don't happen. We are, my team is responsible for tracking those. And if too many constructive approvals are, this process, obviously hasn't gone into effect yet. It will start, this fall for the communities. But if too many of these constructive approvals go into effect, the legislature is really going to take a new look at this process and see, how well is it performing.
How does the average length of time for something to be approved? If it's not a big, huge thing, like on the normal, how long does it take for something to be approved? Like, is this 12 months?
One's realistic.
Is it real? Yeah, is it realistic or is it like?
I mean, I guess that would be a question I'd have for you. Every community varies and every community is different based on capacity. Some, I represent about 80 communities. So some communities I go to and they say, 12 months is not a problem for us. We approve typically things in 3 to 4 months. And then other communities, have expressed, deep concerns about the 12-month timeline. So that really, I think, is very community dependent. Yeah.
I'll also note that the town is a green community, which is part of that. You have to prove that that the board approves projects within a 12-month period. So.
Wait, what?
You approve solar projects within 12 months. That's usually how long your decision takes from submission to decision.
And you're saying we tend to do that?
Because you're a green community, as part of the green community, you have to submit a whole bunch of different things on criteria. And one of them is showing that you're favorable to solar projects. And by that, their definition is from submission to approval and a decision, it's 12 months.
And we
so
are.
We are a green community.
Oh, okay.
So we have proved that. And again, I don't see it as a problem here from what I've seen looked back. But.
And is this considered a special permit or no?
No.
No, okay.
No, like,
You only need a.
Solar should be just site plan approval.
yeah, there was a court decision, the Sunpin decision, that said special permits are allowed for certain types of solar projects. So but it's very dependent. Yeah,
Okay.
but solar does have Dover Amendment protections. You're right.
Yeah.
So this would just need like a simple majority for approval.
I would turn that to you.
For solar it would. Battery, it's not expressly defined within your bylaw as of yet. But I have a meeting with the zoning bylaw review committee meeting next week, so it'll be brought up.
So this is kind of like a summary slide, but basically to be compliant with this process, you are not required to adopt any sort of bylaws. We are crafting or have released a permitting bylaw, a model permit bylaw that is optional for the community to adopt. And it basically takes a lot of our regulations and integrates them by reference. So, which some communities have find easier. I know Medway has adopted the permitting bylaw, but you are not required to. But it is there to think of as a resource. But basically, this boils down to this consolidated local permit decision bundles together all those individual permit decisions that are needed for the project based on your bylaws. It does not include ministerial permits, so things like a building permit, an electrical permit, a street opening permit. Those are outside this 12-month timeframe. Those are not. It's really just special permits, site plan approval, wetlands order conditions, if you have scenic road provisions, those types of discretionary permits. And that 12-month time frame is basically the window for which to issue that decision. I didn't mention this specifically, this is but this is like a summary slide. Our regulations identify a point person or point people, or to kind of administer certain parts of this process that your bylaws might not address. By default, this individual is the local government representative. That's what our regulations refer to them as. And by default in our regulations, they are the chief administrative officer of the local government or their designee. So for most towns, that's likely going to be the town administrator. For some towns without a town administrator, it's, the select board. But they are responsible for deciding who is best to do these responsibilities. And the reason for that is because every town's different. Every town has different capacities. Some towns, especially, much smaller towns, don't even have town administrators or, and so we did not want to make the decision of who that should be. And, it makes sense for the government to designate it themselves. The local government representative has kind of four main responsibilities, and that's one of the handouts that you have. But basically, they are responsible for certifying that pre-filing has been completed, which is signing a form essentially, and reviewing it. The first three of these responsibilities are very administrative in nature. The second is determining that the application is complete. And the reason why that's important is because once the application is deemed complete, that's what starts the 12-month clock. And the third is issuing that consolidated decision, which essentially means compiling all these individual board decisions. There's a form that is essentially a cover letter that they would sign saying, here's what each of those individual boards said. And based on that, this is an approval, this is a denial, this is an approval. And then the last is one that is much more discretionary and could be designated to a person, could be designated to a board. And that's assigning minimization and mitigation measures for site suitability. So, if there is a lot of expected impact on the site from these projects, the applicant is expected to appropriately minimize and mitigate those impacts. And they can do that through an agreement with the town as a condition of this permit. And so you could leave that to, a staff person, the planning director, you could leave it to, or you could designate it to the planning board, the conservation commission, the choice is up to you. But I'm throwing a lot of information at you. This is this was an hour presentation that, I'm just trying to give you the highlights on. But really what it kind of boils down to, like three big things, which are, we just wanted to make you aware that this is happening. Our regulations and our guidelines are on our website. There is going to be a QR code for this, but Rachel has all the links as well as the materials. But the other provision is so this technically started going into effect in July 1st, but there's a built-in transition period where between July 1st and September 30th, communities have the option to offer this. No community has yet done that, and we're not expecting many to. But by October 1st, that's when communities must start offering this as a permitting pathway. And again, so it's up to the developer to decide and choose. The developer may never choose this consolidated local permitting pathway in Bellingham. You may never see one of these types of projects. Or you may see, several of them. It's all going to depend, but the developer may just decide it's easier to go kind of the traditional method and get those permits individually from each of the boards and not have the 12-month time frame attached to it and not have to do the site suitability minimization measures or the pre-filing public engagement. And then the last thing is thinking about who you want the local government representative to be. Again, it requires a decision by the chief administrative officer of your community. And so based on your bylaws, that's likely your town administrator. But getting all those ducks into a row and starting to think about that before October 1st hits is there. But we at DOER, we are a brand new division. We were created out of the 2024 Climate Act. So we're a division of clean energy siting and permitting. And so we are developing a lot of technical assistance resources. So my job is to serve and support the municipalities as they work to implement this, as questions come up. So, I have business cards, Rachel has my contact information, and it's also on the slide in the next slide. So, but on our website, we have also provided a lot of different materials. The handouts I've given you are kind of just a preview into that. If you are also interested in learning more about battery and solar safety, this is a free course that we are offering through the Mass CEC, the Clean Energy Center. So if you use that QR code and that access code Mass CEC2, you'll be able to access those training courses. So again, this is, oh, it didn't advance. That's weird. The last slide is just my contact information. So I'm sure Rachel, you can,
Oh,
there we
it
are.
goes.
Oh,
It was
there we
on
are.
a delay.
So Rachel mentioned green communities. They're a separate division of Department of Energy Resources, and we are set up and modeled like them. So we have 4 regional coordinators that mirror the same regions for green communities. So if any of you are familiar with Kelly Brown, I'm her counterpart focusing on this clean energy siting and permitting. And we are led by our director. So I thank you. I know going last, throwing a ton of information at you after you've had a pretty packed meeting. Oh, I'm not? Oh, God, sorry.
Thank you.
But yeah,
This, not, it matters at this point, but I have to say this. The town and the select board and the planning board since 1956 is when the planning board was developed, handled all of this stuff fine, perfectly capable of handling large projects, small projects. So why do we have to have something like this? That essentially, if you want to just make it long, to the short of it, it's just a way to take our decision-making away. I mean, why? I mean, I think, I don't like it, to tell you the truth.
not many, I mean, you're not the first to say that. I will say, but based on a percentage of projects, I mean, if you look at the number of solar projects, battery projects, going through and being permitted at the state, only a small percentage of them are large enough to go through the Energy Facility Siting Board. So,
But they don't.
Even if
They
the
come
small
to
one
us.
gets appealed, it goes before the energy siting board, who's pushing clean energy. So why would they say no? Even if we said no,
What's the percentage?
well, this, I think it's in the 90s, based on, yeah, that would remain at the local level.
So 10%?
Yeah, but these are, again, are rough estimates because this process is just starting in a new.
How many projects has gone through this process? Where the state has actually taken over from the municipalities?
So none, this process just started July 1st.
I know it's brand new.
Yeah,
But so this division hasn't made any.
the Energy Facility Siting Board they are currently have some projects before them, but they have not issued any decisions on them. And they have different regulations and a different timeline for their types of projects. So they have actually like a 15-month time frame to issue decisions.
How many projects do they have in front of them?
I don't know the answer to that.
Are they posting any of these projects publicly?
Yeah, so Energy Facility Siting Board, they have their docket, they have their website. I can send the website to Rachel so she can circulate it. Currently, I know there's a project in Charlton that's in the pre-filing stage. That's before the Energy Facility Siting Board, but again, they haven't actually submitted the application.
So those towns decided to do it before they had to?
No, so for the Charlton case, it's a project that is a large project, so it automatically goes to the Energy Facility Siting Board.
Oh, I thought you just said we have to start doing it as of October 1st, but if
The
we want
local
to.
communities, the Energy Facility Siting Board had to start doing it by July 1st because the legislature told them that.
So any large ones have to go to the siting board
Correct,
by July 1st,
correct,
and they already have projects
correct.
because these facilities have already been waiting for it.
I guess, yeah. This law got passed in November 2024, so yeah.
So if there's a large project and, in town, but zoning, it isn't zoned for it, how is that handled? Because if we say, it's zoned agricultural and you can't put a whatever on it, how is that handled?
So the Energy Facility Siting Board under 40A has zoning exemption authority. They've been, so the applicant is able to petition for zoning exemptions through that board.
So another way to take the decision-making from the town. This is crazy.
I will say that, because I went to quite a few planning, trainings on this before when it was before it was, approved. Is that this is the first time that multiple different, stakeholders worked together. You had Mass Audubon working with National Grid. You had all of these nature environmental conservationists that are usually, saying no, working with their counterparts with these energy siting companies to come up with regulations that really meet what we're saying, because that was the concern. This was first being approved, was that, great, you're gonna come in and clear cut everything. And, they were very cognizant of working with environmentalists as well as electrical providers or, energy providers to come up with something that, would be amenable or appeasable to both parts, and what they've heard through all of the years with, other projects. So again, that's just one thing that made me, because normally that doesn't happen. People just don't talk to each other. So.
Well,
Think I'm a little too hungry, otherwise might be a little snarky, so.
well, I'll.
She's angry.
Yeah.
I'll echo what Mr. Goyette said. I mean, this isn't on you. I'm just.
No worries. This
This
is
isn't you.
literally why I'm here, yeah.
And the fact that the
Very
regulations,
well.
the regulations, the town had 3 months. They were released, but it wasn't, we're having a meeting on July 20th.
Sorry, our regulations were released we promulgated the
Right.
regulations back in March 1st.
Right. And we're just having a meeting with someone from your department telling us about this.
So I did do outreach to Bellingham, to the predecessor before, and I didn't get a response. When I started in the role in June, and then we have been doing a series of public information sessions in the fall, and then we just partnered with all the regional planning agencies, and that's how Rachel heard about this.
And that's why.
Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Rachel.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sir, thank you.
Sure, I feel like that's a little, it's not real. but
No,
okay.
I'm thinking, I'm thinking like you.
Thanks for bringing this bad news to us, Rachel.
It's not training, right?
The bus drives over you backwards.
You heard about it and you brought it, so that's good. At least we know. That's great.
Thank you.
Yeah, no
I'm
problem.
sure,
Yeah.
I'm sure, I'm sure you'll be hearing from a lot of people.
I'm sure I will, yeah, I already am, yeah. But thank you again for taking time out of your meeting.
If
I
it makes it any
appreciate it.
easier on you, Mr. Goyette owns a candy store right up the street.
Oh, there we go.
It's a great candy store.
Talk to you, tell me, Chip.
And thank you for keeping a smile on your face throughout the whole thing.
Oh, no
That was
problem.
really
An
impressive.
empty nail gun and these dimples, it's like the same shape, yeah.
He's got
Thank
chocolate
you.
covered potato chips.
Oh, perfect, there we go.
And he built one on the weekend.
Oh, I love that.
All
right, thank you again.
I'm sure you're getting a similar welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
All right,
Have a great night. Drive safe.
thank you.
Mr. Roach, I'm turning it over to you.
Make a motion to close the joint meeting of the planning board and select board until July 20th, 2026.
I'll second your motion.
Jasmine will want to, second that too.
No, did you say so moved?
He made the motion, I'll say second.
I made the motion. I didn't have the motion, I made it.
We're closing.
Okay, Jasmine, I.
Take one.
Yeah, Jasmine, I.
Eli.
Patrick, I.
Bill, I.
Marty, aye.
Thank you. All right, Jasmine.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks, everyone.
Have a great night.
Have a good night.
Chris, can I get?
Tim, so you don't want me to ask you any questions? Tim,
I think that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're good? Yeah.
So authorization of the Collins Center. So just briefly for people that don't know who the Collins Center is. Collins Center is a public management center through the University of Massachusetts, Boston, and it provides consulting, recruitment, and management services to local and state governments. We focus on improving efficiencies, effectiveness, governance, and accountability. We would like to ask the select board to consider the authorization of entering into the contract with the Collins Center to conduct an assessment of HR, benefits, payroll, and admin support functions. With the HR director position now being vacant, this will allow us to take a fresh look at how the HR department should be structured and how that department interacts with payroll and the school department. The Collins Center will also assist in drafting job description, redefining all of these roles. Currently, the town does not have any job descriptions for the HR director and the HR benefits coordinator positions, which is obviously a concern. Development of job descriptions is crucial when onboarding new team members and in defining roles for existing members. The center will provide direct technical support in the HR department, along with continued support from the town's finance team and school department, who have really stepped up to fill in the gaps. And definitely a shout out to the treasurer's office, assessors, and the school department. Everybody's really been working together and have not missed a beat. So I want to thank them publicly. And lastly, the contract has a not to exceed amount of $10,000. It will be funded through the existing professional services line item in the HR department. The cost will also be offset by cost savings of not filling the HR director position right away while the assessment is being conducted.
The Collins Center is who we used with the hybrid for the town administrator search. We did the hybrid for the search committee. The Collins Center. Joe sent everybody an email, discussing this and the need for it. I know, Chris, you've mentioned it a few times to me in our conversations where it's just always been like, this is just how it's been done.
Yeah, and I think we're at the point where we need to chart a new path forward, right?
Yes.
We've had, and honestly, I didn't have the pleasure of meeting Beth, but I've heard a lot of stories about Beth where she just took on way too much. She worked 100 hours a week. And we can't put that on anybody. We can't set up anybody for failure. We can't do a Beth 2.0.
And there was nothing in writing. There was nothing documented. It was all everything was in their head.
Everything, yeah. So this will give us the tools. Like obviously Joe and I have some ideas, but I think we need the experts to come in and help us.
This is for 2 positions or just 1 position?
This is just for an analysis.
No, I
of-
know. Okay, so it's gonna be, when they do this analysis, it's gonna be for just,
We're going to be looking at the HR director functions, the
Yeah.
benefits coordinator functions, the payroll coordinator functions, also functions over the school department. Because obviously a lot of work comes over from the school department, so they will factor in the staffing on that end as well.
So everything fell under one individual,
Yep.
two individuals. Melissa and Beth.
One office.
One off, yeah, the HR.
One office.
So, and I know just, in speaking with Caroline, it was very difficult on the school side of things, managing that, but then also managing the town side of things. And that's something Joe was mentioning to me, you mentioned to me, like, we need to reach.
And just looking at job duties, like for example, under the HR department, the registering of vehicles fell under the HR department, which that's crazy. That's a finance fund. That's where I come from. That's a finance function, But I think it got to the point where after 30 some odd years, everything just fell on this one person. And it's not fair.
so this could affect other people who currently already have roles and jobs.
Yep. It could be.
And are
distributed.
they on board with this?
They are 100%. So I had a meeting with payroll department, with the school department. Erica and Peter are on board with this assessment. And my finance team, like they want to see, because honestly, what's been happening is because of the stress and the strain on the HR department, that's been causing problems in other departments.
Yes. So you just need a motion from us to execute this contract?
Yes, we'd like, we'd like buy-in from the select board. I think this is definitely a team effort to set a new path forward.
I am 100% on board with this. I think it's needed to be done a long time. I think it needed to be done when I was first on the board and we had the HR director acting as the town administrator, as the town chaos coordinator. So, Mr. Spencer.
I have no questions. I heard it earlier and I agree. I think need a right to ship. There should be job descriptions for everything. That's crazy that there's not, and you expect to get applicants.
Yeah.
It's also crazy.
This is all nothing.
Is there any reason to think that we would exceed that $10,000 cap?
No, the path, they said the assessment probably would take about 3 to 4 weeks. And we're hoping, we're confident that will, and we're confident that we won't exceed that 10,000.
I mean, I think it's a smart move. It's, put things in black and white and things just got done when they got done. Now this really kind of puts us in a, timeliness and effectiveness and eliminate the duplicacy of things and I'm for this.
So we're looking at the end of August, pretty much, to have this analysis done.
Yeah, mid to end of August.
Then restructure people that are already here. Pretty much, because you're gonna have to take from certain people and give to other people and move around and everything.
Well, let's see what their assessment looks like.
Right, well, I'm just saying, like, the registration of vehicles, we know that that's gonna be moving or should move.
I'm probably gonna pull that and I'll
Right,
probably do it.
so those things are gonna move, so we probably won't post a position until
For the
Yeah,
HR director,
probably beginning of September, middle of September.
our goal was towards the end of August. We're hoping for the end of August. Don't hold me to that, but that's our plan. Don't hold me to that.
When the assessment is done and then you start, when you see what you need. the People who are looking for it are gonna start.
And we're gonna get a full.
That was gonna be my question.
Yeah.
Is the call instead gonna bring it before us and explain to us what they
Yes,
plan to do?
yeah, 100%. And again, like one of the consultants has been on site for about a week and a half now. And she's really taken a deep dive and we've definitely made some headway. That's why I know we're on track for that 4 week. So some of the issues are pretty cut and dry.
We lost Don.
Yeah.
Yeah, Don, I didn't want to interrupt you guys. Don had to go.
So we do this.
He was fine with that.
Okay.
He,
All right.
yeah, he needed to go to his meeting.
Do I have a motion to accept the Collins Center agreement, authorize town administrator to execute said contract?
So move, Jen.
Second.
All right,
Cody, aye.
Jen, I.
Come on,
Mike, aye.
Thank you.
I just ask questions. That's
That's fine.
I just like to.
I like answering questions.
Town administrator report.
Joe, I know, sent out a town administrator report. And I don't want to show him up and do my own PowerPoint presentation, so I will just leave it.
We had I'm just being the one.
Yeah, no, I know.
Did he send one out?
He did.
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah,
see
I
it.
was just being, I was just.
Oh, okay.
Did he post it too for the public? Did he post it on the town website?
I don't believe.
I believe.
Because I know he usually does, so.
Hillary will probably take care of that at some point. All right, Hillary?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
I see it.
He
I
posted
didn't see
right?
it. Did
I
you?
didn't get.
Oh, were you sure it wasn't just the email?
No, he
that
sent you the
Colin
email. He
sent
sent you the email.
He sent
Email
that,
like that.
Yeah.
he sent the email, that's his,
Yeah,
I
the
think
email.
it's not
literally.
PowerPoint.
Oh, not a PowerPoint.
Not a
Okay.
It was just this.
I mean, I was thinking, I didn't want to show him up in my own
Okay.
PowerPoint.
I was looking forward to a PowerPoint.
I know he enjoyed.
It literally says town administrator report.
Yeah.
It was just talking
Was
about.
it an email about the Collins Center?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was his, this was his.
Well, anything else over that? Is there
Nothing-
anything else we should be
nothing-
concerned about from where you sat for
No.
a couple days?
All right, anything for old business? Anything for new business?
No.
Tim, how you settling? in?
Actually, this coming Saturday.
Daylight
is,
savings.
Household hazardous.
This coming Saturday.
Yeah. Household hazardous.
I just posted it on their anniversary site. So
Okay.
it's there.
Kim settling in good? I like your post.
Which one?
I've only seen one.
Oh, yeah, well, I try to update people. That's what they want. They
Yes.
want the,
Nope, I
You
have
know,
no issues with
I
informing the public.
just give it to them like it is. I try to stay very neutral and I try to answer some questions if there's questions. Some guy would like to know. It's exactly. he wants to just bring his trash to the, recycling center, which I was like, oh, that sounds like a really good idea, but then I was thinking about it, I'm like,
It's
they're
recycling.
$5, you can bring your bags, the overflow bags, to the recycling center. But,
I did not know
yeah, if you have overflow, as long as they're in the overflow bags, you can bring them down to the recycling center.
that. Okay.
But the bags are about $5 a bag, so now you're looking, I was doing the math and I'm like, I actually don't think that's cheaper to do it that way.
Right.
So, especially if you're a family, maybe if you are two people or a single person, but I don't know how that would all work, I don't.
A special occasion if you have something
Yeah, and I
out of the
don't,
ordinary or.
yeah, I know a lot of towns you have to pay your trash fee to be able to use the recycling
Yes,
center, and I would think that's
That's correct.
a thing
I
here,
would think
but
so too.
I'm not 100% sure, so.
And I think that in order to not have barrels, you have to prove.
That you have.
You have someone
You have
coming,
some sort of-
you have someone coming
Yeah.
to your house.
Anybody else have anything? We have a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn at 9:10.
Second.
All right, Cody,
Cody, aye.
Kevin,
Good night.
Mike, aye. Thank you. Thank you for sitting through this entire meeting.
I didn't know what it was.
Yep.